Hi guys, welcome to Workout Wednesday. Des here. On today's DOdaily, what I'm going to discuss is running. It is Global Running Day today, so happy Global Running Day everyone. Everyone who enjoys getting out there, pounding the pavements, hitting those trails. Of course, I've spoke many times, it's my great passion, and although the Do Running community is so much more than just a running club these days, it's still a big part in what we do. What I'm going to try and do going forward on a Wednesday is use Wednesday Workout to offer tips and advice. Get a lot of questions in the question and answer sessions each week about what people can do for this, what people can do for that. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go out for a run. I'm going to let you know how that got on, and then I'm going to offer a bit of advice on training for that next big event. Like I say, there's been lots of questions recently, lots of events delayed, how to train sort of during lockdown. So I've got 5 tips to sort of fire your way, things I do, my advice, my sort of the things I do to get myself through these events. Created something for a local Couch to 5k group and a group that's going from 5k to a half marathon. I've created a plan, so I'll be happy to share that with you as well if anybody would like that. But for now, I'm going to get out. Yesterday, I mentioned the Do Running the World Challenge for Global Running Day. So I'm asking all you guys, whether you're part of this community or not, whether you've watched before or not, get out there, do a run. Tag us at DOdaily 2020 and at Do Running 19 and hashtag Do Running the World. If you can do that, I'll tally up all the miles and see how far we can get away from our iconic location here at Trent Bridge. No idea how this is going to turn out. It could be 10 miles, it could be 20 miles, it could be 150 miles, it could be Leicester, it could be London, it could be Lisbon. Just a few of the things that popped into my head there. But yeah, so for now, I'm going to check back in after my run, let you know how I got on, let you know how many miles I've done, and then I'm going to offer a few tips on how to prepare a training plan and how to sort of get ready for that next event whilst we're in lockdown and sort of beyond. See you soon. Phew. Just got a run in there, guys. Managed a couple of miles. Was hoping to do a little bit more, but made a contribution. The Do Running the World Challenge. Just had a quick look. We're approaching 50 miles now between 10 runners, so that's a great effort by everyone already taking part. I'm sure there's lots more to come tonight, so if you can take part, like I said before, please do. It'd be great to see lots of efforts and see how far we can actually get. I've been mentioning the weather a lot on DOdaily. It's been absolutely amazing for weeks. Trust me to try something new on a day when it absolutely chucks it down. But it's great to run in the rain. I mentioned that on a previous video. It was actually the second video I did, which is now over 5.5 weeks ago. So that was the last time it rained. So I think we've been pretty lucky, haven't we? So lots to be positive about there. But like I say, I'm going to offer up some tips. Going to let you know how I sort of approach my training for these events. Just going to freshen myself up a little bit, get on top of it, and then I'll be back shortly to offer advice on how to get through training for that next big event. See you shortly. The first thing I do, guys, is find and use a training plan that works for you. I think it's really important to use a training plan. When I started out, I actually did it on my own, and I kind of ran free, and at the end of my first half marathon, I blew up with 2 miles to go. So come to learn by sort of getting involved in a bit of coaching and a bit of motivation, that basically what we need to do is find a plan. There's lots of great resources on the internet. There's plans for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever sort of distance or aspirations you've got, there's all sorts out there. But what I'm saying is, whilst having a plan's important, it's also got to work for you. You need to make it, so you're running on days where you're available to run. There's no point being sort of held up in the evening with childcare or with work or with anything else, or with a singing class, anything, if you can't actually get out and run, it's important to try and stick to the plan, try and maintain it. It helps keep focus, it helps keep that drive. Do you know, there's small achievements on the way you can tick off each run. It's really important. What I suggested to a local group who I'm kind of coaching virtually through lockdown is print a plan off I created. This is a Couch to 5k plan, and because it's lockdown and because they're in no rush to get the distance in just yet, what I've done is extended the plan. Normally a Couch to 5k will be 8 weeks, but I've stretched it to 12 just to give them that little bit more time to build up. Do you know, some of the guys are doing brilliantly, and they're finding that gradual build-up's working for them. But what I've realised is some of them have to do it at different times. I suggested that they can always swap rest days. It's important, do you know, to take those rest days and to make sure you're running when you're running enough, but also taking a break. But to keep getting out there, I've just shown you today, it's particularly wet and cold. It's a case of having to get out there. You've got to force yourself into these good habits. Race day might be a rainy day, you know, it might be a sunny day. So if you can run in all conditions as well, that's all part of planning. It's all preparation, good preparation for these big events. Lots of people are asking me at the moment about the London Marathon. Should they continue training? It's now due for October, but it could well possibly be postponed again. So my advice to that is just do whatever's comfortable for you. If you feel you want to maintain that level of training, but what I would say is put a plan in place. Do you know, something on a spreadsheet, written down on a piece of paper, anything you can do just to work from, just so you've got that guide. Of course, like I say, there's lots out there. Take a look. You can always email me at des@dorunning.org.uk for an extended Couch to 5k and an extended 5k to half marathon training plan I've created. Do you know, like I say, just whilst lockdown's on, try to create these with a few extra weeks just to help people build up. People who are still quite new to running, so it's quite useful for them to have that extra time and be able to sort of get confident. And again, keep saying planning with everything I do through this DOdaily channel, not just the running. Planning is key, because if you say you're going to do it, you're more likely to do it, and if you don't do it, then you're going to sort of kick yourself afterwards. Following on from planning, my next tip is basically make sure you make the most of rest days. So it all comes under planning, but that time is important as well. Do you know, we all put a lot of effort into working hard, and we can all get a little bit taken and a little bit addicted to sort of the things we try out. We'll take the obvious benefits and the endorphins it gives out and the feel good feeling, and we can run with it, and we don't want to stop. We want to do it every day. But particularly when you're starting out, particularly if you're building distance, it's key to use your rest days, use them properly. Do you know, I'm not saying don't do anything at all. There's lots of things whilst resting, of course. If you choose not to run and not do anything else, that's okay. But to build strength and to build stamina, what I try to do a lot more is I like to walk to work and back. I like to st the stairs rather than the lift. Do you know, all these little things are just helping the fitness, just helping build that little bit more stamina for your next run, as well as giving your muscles good time to repair. Do you know, letting your body recover. Of course, rest days also means getting good sleep. So if you can get a good sleeping routine, use your rest days, use your plan. It's a great way, it's a great start to sort of getting on top of what you need to do. Tip number 3, and I think this one's probably more important than ever just now, is basically use some kind of recording app for your runs. There's the Nike app, there's Strava, there's Map My Run. What I would say, you don't have to have an all singing, all dancing watch. Most smartphones these days, you can download these apps for free, and they've all got free versions. But what they're great for is mapping out your routes, showing how far you've run, showing how fast you've run. They show plenty of, they tend to show you achievements as well. So if that's your fastest half mile, or that's your fastest 200 meters, or your fastest on this segment, shows you what calories you're burning. So again, it's all confidence building stuff. Do you know that they're great for looking back on, you know, comparing an effort to last week. You might have run the same route last week, you might do that again and you've done it faster, and again it's all a great confidence booster for taking forward and knowing you're making progress. Sometimes I find if I don't do that kind of thing, if I don't record my run, it can be a bit lazy, it can get a bit sort of demotivated. So they're great for motivation as well. They're great for sort of driving you forward. You can connect with friends, connect with other runners and see what they're doing. Do you know, it's a brilliant way of doing it. Listen to your body. One of the most crucial things when you're a runner is to make sure you listen to your body. Like I've said with the rest and taking those rest periods to recover, if you get injured, you really need to sort of make sure you're doing the right things. Don't just plough through it. I will say, just be cautious. Sometimes an injury is not as bad as it seems. We all tend to be a little bit scared. We're all worried if we can't run for a day or two. And whilst I've said it's important to stick to the plan as much as you can, what I really want you to do is look after yourself. Do you know, if it means for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, getting on a cross trainer, going swimming, just to take, if it was a knee injury, for example, just to take that pressure off. It might just be the answer. It's going to help your stamina as well. It's going to build your core, and core is great for running. Do you know, I've not always been fantastic at including other activities, but again, through learning about coaching and what we need to do, it's something I'm really looking forward to embracing going forward when I'm fully fit. So I really want to sort of get on top of it. It's why I walk at the moment, do you know, just to keep my sort of base layer of fitness. I'm injured. I only run when I'm told I can, do you know, so it's important just to look after yourself. Make sure you look after your injuries, take advice, listen to people who have been there and done it. Like I say, don't be frightened of injury. One of the great things about sort of the plans I've spoken about, and why I say they're a great benefit during lockdown, and why I think it's useful to have extra weeks included, is because if people do get injured, if they have got holidays and things they really can't miss, they can just jump back in. Do you know, if you miss 1 week, for example, you can jump back in. Rather than sticking a 12-week plan in a 12-week block, you could almost stick a 12-week plan in a 16-week block. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it's an option, because of course we all look forward to these things, and the last thing we want is to be injured on race day. It's the worst feeling in the world. I've been there ahead of London, probably chose the wrong race to take part in, and got myself injured and wasn't right on the day. Do you know, I was okay, I wasn't right. I'd managed it for a week or two beforehand, but it's really important. And that, just to sort of reiterate that, choose the right sort of surfaces, especially in the last few weeks. Do you know, this is an extra tip, but use the right surfaces. I did a really hilly trail run the week before a 26-mile road race, so it was a mistake, something I wouldn't do again. So yeah, just bear in mind, injuries are all part of the course. They're unfortunate, they're frustrating, believe me, they really are, but it's important to look after yourself. And my final tip: join a running club, or at least an online community. Of course, right now we're in lockdown. There's no getting away from that fact. I've mentioned it so many times already. But it's really important to use other people. Use other people's energy, do you know? Use them to inspire and motivate you. You can help them as well, do you know? People work off each other. I've noticed by forming a running club, that's where DOdaily and Do Running before that came from, was by forming a small running group, which we've grown. It's just, you get 1,000,001 benefits what you don't expect. Do you know, I joined a running club to be a better runner. Ultimately, I've met lots of new friends. I've met Kay, which is a great thing, of course, which has changed my life, and I feel better despite the odd blip here and there. I feel amazing. I've always got someone to turn to, something to look forward to. Also, it's great for advice, further advice and tips. Do you know, there's always somebody who's been there and done it, somebody faster, somebody slower. You realise that we're all the same. Do you know, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Basically, when I started out, I did it all by myself. I found some sort of motivation and something just to go at it, but it wasn't until I sort of stumbled across parkrun, till a friend at work advised me about that, and then I got involved in this Advent running online community. It was basically run every day up until Christmas. When I got involved in that, it really enhanced my sort of knowledge and my aspirations built, you know, and I wanted to do new things, and I've never looked back since. You know, I don't want people to be scared into thinking you have to do too much. You really don't, especially in this particular community. You really don't have to be. But of course we're in lockdown, so the online way is the way at the moment, and that's what we've got here. So keep watching the videos and we'll keep advising, but it's a great way of staying motivated. And that, guys, was my my ideas on how to sort of motivate yourself for that next big event. I know it's a bit frustrating at the moment. I know we've got a lot to think about in terms of when races are going to happen, when they're going to take place, but it's key to stay on top of things. The first race that got cancelled of mine was the Reading Half Marathon. I'm an ambassador for the Robin Hood Half Marathon, so I was really looking forward to being involved in that. It's their sister race. So basically, I remember feeling a bit disappointed, a bit dejected, but I put out there on social media that it's important to look forward to these things, and if your race has been cancelled, just keep looking forward to it. It will come. Do you know, we can only look forward to what's in front of us. Of course, we have fond memories of what's gone, but whilst it's still on the horizon, it's still to look forward to. And if you're not training for anything in particular, just keep enjoying running. It's really a great time to fall in love with it. I love running in the rain. It's coming down again. So hopefully, like I say, that's give you a bit of an idea of how to go about things. I'm going to try and, like I said right at the start of the video, I'm going to try and do this, talk about running, talk about my experience, sort of week on week on a Wednesday workout, combine it with a challenge and see where we go. So till tomorrow, when it'll be live questions and answers, keep posting those. I could do with a few to work from. Just doing it.